What's up? What's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. Whoever's watching, I know I usually do a live stream at like 7 o'clock. I had a couple of things I needed to do for work, so I needed to get those things done before I started. But how's everybody doing this morning? I want to make sure the audio's okay, picture's okay. I think things are pretty good, but I'm not 100% certain. I'm a little bit tired. I stayed up a little bit late last night, so I'm a little bit tired. You know, staying up late, waking up early is not the best thing to do, but you got to do it sometimes. Max Beats, good morning. Make sure everybody coming in here, make sure you hit that like button. Hello, Jermaine. Hopefully we have a good day today. I mean, I'm thinking it's going to be pretty good. What's up, Jack Harris? I was up by $230 plotting, or 230. Oh, 230. I was up by 230 plotting my day. That's a little early for me, because sometimes I tend to go to sleep around like 12 or 1 o'clock, and then wake up at like 4 or 5. Not enough sleep, but then I like catch up on the weekend. We got 28 people in here, 8 likes. Thank you everybody for hitting the like button. Feeling all right today? Yeah, it's just my voice is getting used to talking. I don't really say much in the morning, so my voice just like, I guess, sits how it normally does when I first wake up. So this is the first time I usually talk, because I don't talk to myself. So so yeah, looking at AMC and GME and all the different positions, things are looking pretty good. They're looking really pretty good. Do I trade options? I don't trade options at all. I can tell you that I've never traded a single options contract in my life. And it's something I would like to know about, but it's not something that I feel like I want to really get into, if it makes sense. Just because I feel like stocks are easier to understand. I make a little bit of money with stocks. It's very simple, buy and sell. I understand a strategy that makes me money. Options, I hear you can lose a lot of money if you don't know what you're doing. So I would like to get educated first and then jump into it. It's about 8 o'clock, 8:06 where I am, 8:06 a.m. I kind of regret buying AMC at 13 and not buying at 6. Well, of course, everybody regrets not buying at, the low point and buying at, the middle point or the high point, wherever you actually bought at. But you can't really do anything about it. The only thing you can do is average down. And if you average down, you're going to bring that cost basis down, which means that you'll make a lot of money, or I guess more money, I would say. Looks like they only have 250,000 shorts available today, and at an 8.6 fee. That's a really good thing, right? Yes and no. The fact that they have 250,000 shorts available at 8.6% is not something that generally could be the best thing in the world, because what they could still do is cover some short positions that have lower or higher interest rates, and end up having more short shares available to purchase or to short, and then they end up getting something that they had, a 30% interest rate, and then change it to like 8%. So it could be a good thing, it could be a bad thing, but it just really depends how they look at it. Obviously, hedge funds are going to look at it at the best way possible for them. What's the best situation for them is to hold out until people sell. That's really the best situation. Volume looks a bit higher today. It does look like it's moving quite a bit today. I can't wait to see what the actual market open looks like, because the market opened, even though we did see lower volume yesterday, we still seen some increases, which was definitely interesting. Yeah, seeing that the volume, I believe, was like, I don't know, 10 million, when before it was like, I don't know, 100 million, 100 plus million in the first 30 minutes, was definitely something where I was like, all right, well, we're going to see a decrease, and we've seen an increase of 17%. I said that if we didn't have the volume, then we wouldn't see an increase, but ultimately we did hit about average of the volume. Did I trade anything yesterday? No, I was waiting for other money to come in, but I did end up having some free stocks clear. If you look at the bottom, you're going to see that I have 185 of ADT that cleared for my free stocks, and now my overall account, plus the 1,800 that I deposited, I'm still waiting on 4,000 some odd dollars to deposit as well. My overall account is around $5,000, but majority of it is held in position. So I'm waiting for $4,000 to clear, and then I can buy something, and I'll probably end up getting out of these positions soon, just to be able to have the money to be able to use. So GME at $60. GME is making some decent moves. I mean, right now it decreased down to 116. It was up to about 119. And I said in my video that I'm posting at 8:30 that that if it gets to about 120, you have a chance that it could hit 150 today. You know, because the fact that GME moves around $30 per day, the average is $30. So if it moves $30, it could either move like halfway. The bottom point could be, you know, $15 lower. So let's say like $100 or $105, and then the high point could be 135, or it could be the low point could be 120, and the high point could be 150. So, and obviously, it's not saying that it only will move $30. It's just the average that it moves $30. So. Yeah, I think GME could be a great day trading opportunity for a lot of people, but you can also get a pretty decent gain if you're looking to get to that 150 mark. What got me into trading stocks? Mainly the thought of, you know, how, you know, the rich people stay rich, and, you know, really get wealthy, and if they have $1 million, how easy it is for them to continue to make money, and how easy it is for them to get to their second million or 5 million or 10 million. And it was really interesting to me seeing that through college. Like, how are they able to do that? You know, getting to 1 million is hard enough. So I researched this, and it seemed like a lot of them were investing into mutual funds and index funds, slow growth investments, and that's what I really wanted to get into, but it was kind of too slow for me, and it seemed like I still would have to work a 9 to 5 and still have to do that, which I like working a 9 to 5 depending on the job, depending on the position, but it ends up being very difficult to take in, where you have to, you know, work an entry-level job in order to fund your investments for long term. And if you can get to a point to where you fund your initial investments and then you can trade every single day and make some money just like it's a job, then it ends up being a better situation for you. What if day traders end up slowing down the squeeze? The only thing that's really going to slow down the squeeze is the hedge funds. Day traders are going to day trade. That's just how it goes. And you're going to have that across the board. They day traded the GME as it started to increase the first time, and it didn't slow it down. It's because you have institutions that are investing into these positions to drive the price up. You have other hedge funds that are actually investing or buying long into these. You have the hedge funds that are the main culprits that took the shorts, that are covering their shorts. There's a lot of different pieces that go into it to create a squeeze. So it's not just the day traders. Day traders really just, you know, buy and sell, and then they'll buy back in at low prices. So either way, it's like they're holding. So even though you do have that sell, those people are still getting in at those lower prices when the hedge funds lower the price. I have 870 shares of GME at 125. Well, that's good. You're very close to your break-even point. Have you tried to lower your cost basis a little bit? I understand it is a very high price to pay. And even though, I mean, if you gain $5 and you're technically gaining $870 per $870 per dollar that you gain. So, you know, times that by 5, right? Good morning, Brian. Good morning. Yeah, it definitely looks like across the board. Yesterday we seen a lot of green everywhere across pretty much every stock. But you know, now we're seeing a little bit of red mixed in, so it may not be 100% positive day, but I think we are going to have a pretty good day for AMC. It doesn't look like it's moving too much, you know, and the pre-market doesn't really move that much anyways, but it doesn't really look like it's moving too much. We are up 0.11%, basically up a penny. Hey bud, can you check ATNX? Would you buy this? I'll tell you. Thank you for the super chat, Thamer. Let's go ahead and check this out while we have time. So let's look at the 10,000 foot view first. It depends what you're looking at, because if you're looking to buy it long term, I would not say I'm looking to buy it. It's very flat over a number of months, and that's not something you're obviously looking for. But it's $5.46. I would say, what is the movement here? Let me go ahead and look at, if I'm looking at a day trading opportunity, I always like to look at Yahoo Finance and break down what the stock price is actually doing. So I'm going to look up that symbol, ATNX, and I'm going to look at the history. So, sorry, that's not up on the screen. I'll bring it once I download the history. So I'm gonna look at the history. This is where it ends up saying, can it be a day trading opportunity for me? Let's look at this. It doesn't really look like it moves too much to where I can actually have it a day trading opportunity. It could be a swing trade moving from between the like $10 mark of a low or close to it to the $15 mark. It definitely has some sort of interest there. So what I'm gonna do is do the high to low, see what the movement is. High to low. If it's moving on average $1, so it looks like after I do this here, it looks like on average it's only moving 70 cents. It's not something that I would be really interested in. It is a not a really low price, so you would expect it to move a little bit more than that. So if I'm looking to day trade that opportunity, I feel like that's not an option. But if you look at the growth that it has had over the last, I don't know, however many, where's the high? However many days and weeks, you're going to see that it fluctuates, which is definitely a good thing. You know, going from 14 to 13 to 12, all the way down to 6. It's not something that I would buy into right now. It's not something that has my interest as a swing trade, day trade, long-term invest. You really need to pick your spot. It is starting to get low. That's the only saving grace from it, is that it's starting to get really low, right, all the way down here. But you need to see when it's going to make that turn, and if it will make that turn, because it could be a point to where it drops down a lot more, or this could physically be the low. You know, looking at that 10,000 or 100,000 foot view, you can see that that could possibly be the low for a while, and you may be able to get like a pretty decent swing out of that, out of the next couple of days. So I would say your best bet is a swing trade over a few days, few weeks, and have that increase by $1, $2, $3, maybe even get back up to $15, depending what news is out there, depending who buys into it. So it does look pretty interesting as something that you can hold on to for a little bit, maybe gain a couple of dollars. You know, if you buy 100 shares or so, I feel like you can gain a little bit from it. So hopefully that helps out. Do I know about RKT? What is RKT doing? Rocketing. How's everybody doing this morning, though? Is everybody doing pretty good? It is rocketing this morning. If to tell you the truth, at this point, once you start getting in these days, you kind of missed it. I think you might have missed it. What's the reasoning behind this rocketing? Is it news? Outperforms the market strong trading day. Was that yesterday? 14 hours ago. Technology. So yeah, I think with this rapid increase that you see, I mean, you could say it's definitely rocketing, but it looks like at this point it's being, crazy overbought. So we need to continue to see what's going to happen today. But I think you might have missed the increase, the rapid increase that it did have from maybe that $19 or $20 mark all the way up to $28. That's a pretty decent gain there. But yeah, it looks pretty good. Thank you for the super chat, Nameless. Are you really nameless? Because, you obviously have a name. Can I check BCRX? Yeah. So I try and check all of these things. Obviously, I do like to focus on AMC and GME as I have a ton of positions with them. I would like to, I don't even know if I can look at, yeah, I can look at my positions. So let's see. So you can see that it does have a steady increase literally from months ago. It has a steady increase, which is a great sign. The 200 EMA is underneath the 15 moving average, which indicates that it's going to continue to have that upward trend, and staying above that is definitely a great sign. Even at these large peaks that it does have, coming back and staying above the 200 EMA is definitely a great thing. So seeing this positivity uphill, it looks like it could be a very good swing trade. It has consistency. It's not anything that's here and then you're saying, oh, it's going to decrease. No, you actually had the increase as well, surpassing what the old high was, and then continuing to do the same. Now, I don't know if it will be able to do the same up here because this was a massive increase. So that's where it'll end up struggling. And it looks like through the recent weeks, you see it fighting certain points, seeing it have this W formation, which does indicate that you are going to see the price increase as well, but we did not see that rapid increase from here. But this is a 100,000 foot view that you would see with this, and it's not really giving the clear picture. But seeing this gap up and then seeing it come back to earth, still staying above where it gapped is definitely a great sign. The fact that it did come back down means that people probably just took a little bit of profits, seeing that you had this increase here and taking away from those profits. But seeing this rapid increase getting close to where it was is definitely a great sign, and I would believe that it could be a decent swing trade for day trading as well. If I look at $10, where is it moving from? Let's say it moves from that $11 mark all the way up to $12 mark, so it moves about $1. Which can be tough for a day trader unless you want to buy a ton of shares. So yeah. What is all this? Come on, man. I'm gonna have to stop your comments if you're gonna spam with these emojis. So yeah, I think it could be a decent swing trade there. Any day trading opportunities. It looks like it has a lot of jumps as well. Let's talk about Tesla as well. I wasn't a huge fan of Tesla, right? Obviously, I understand their growth. Over the 10,000 foot view, you can understand that Tesla has a lot of strength, right? Driving that price all the way up to that $700 mark. I believe when they did their split, they were at from $2,000 they split to about $500, right? And then they started to really stay flat for a little bit. They decreased to $300, which is a massive decrease compared to where they were. But you see that they stayed flat for a little bit, and they do have that increase. I mean, they're Tesla. Do I believe they're going to stay at this $700 mark? No, I think they're going to push up to $800, even though people don't think that they're valued at $800 or so. But let me go ahead and where is my EMA here? I don't know why it went away. But you are seeing an indication of a downward trend starting to creep back a little bit, starting to make its moves. but you can see that the 200 EMA crossed over the 15 moving average, which indicates a downward trend, a downward spiral there. You did have an increase from where it was at 642, 648, I believe. But the thing that you can see with Tesla is, you know, that they have a cult-like following. You know that you have a diehard fan base, people that are interested in the position. No matter what, they hold on, even if they're going down by a significant amount. They have massive increases, and I tend to day trade them a couple of times, you know, maybe a month or so, depending what they're actually doing. But it's $600 or $700. If it gets down to $650, then it's definitely a great buy to where you can grow up to that $700 mark or $750 mark. I don't believe it'll stay around the $700 mark, as it will increase based on the fact that people are buying it. Gotta get out of Yahoo Finance. When do you think the next short squeeze will be? It's tough to say when a short squeeze will be, because it's you know, you have the hedge funds that are doing all of this manipulation, and I can't really prove it, right? They're doing all of any type of manipulation that they're doing in order to bring the stock price down. So you can't really say when exactly the next short squeeze will be. Obviously, I missed the boat with GME to see exactly what happened there, because whenever they figure out they want to cover something and we're continuing to buy into it, that's when you'll see a really massive push up. But they're going to continue to bring this back down as it starts to increase. They're learning from their mistakes, and I wouldn't say that we're not going to see a squeeze, but they're making it difficult for us to see a squeeze. So that's where it ends up being. And we're starting to decrease with AMC a little bit. So you can see that looking at this from a full, you know, maybe I don't know, 1,000-foot view. You can see this increase that we did have, that everybody was excited about, up to $11, but then it started to flatten out. It is increasing over the last couple of days, and let's see if we can continue to slow increase. I would like to see it on this trajectory up here. Obviously, I would like to see it increase a massive amount, but you could see that this is following this trend here, and hopefully we can continue to see that, follow that trend over the next couple of days, and see increases of, you know, 10, 15, however many dollars. What's a good price for GME today? I have about 5K. Any strategy? So GME is gonna be a little bit tough. I think they can move around $30. I believe it's an average of $30 per day. Whether it's, you know, positive or negative, they move around $30 per day. So you can see that if it is going to move $30 per day, it could be the point to where it's at that 120 mark, opens up at 120. The buy-in could be 105, could be lower than 100. But if $20 is the low point, if you see that as the bottom, which is probably not the case, in most cases you see it go down to where it started. If $120 is the bottom, then you're going to see that go up to about 150, and that's where I believe that you're going to see that range between 100 and 150. So hopefully we can see that push up to 150, but it's more likely that it will go down, and we'll see a high point of maybe like 130, 140. So I would say close to 100, below 100 would be ideal. Especially if we're going to see the volume, but it just really all depends. You want to make sure that you're picking the right spot, because it is a day trading opportunity, right? And I know people don't like when I say that, but you want to pick your spot to where it is the low point, to where you can gain that increase. what age did I start trading? I started trading, it was around 22, I would say. I've entered into it before college, but it wasn't something where I actually took like solid trades. It was something where I was interested. I opened up a brokerage account. That was back when you had to deposit like $500 in order to even start trading. And now that's not the case. You can do it with $100, or you can do it with, $10 or whatever. You put money into your account and you can trade with it. And that was also back when you had I was using Scott Trade, and it was $7.95 a trade, which is ridiculous. Looking back on it, it's huge. I've never seen so many beautiful setups fail before. Yeah, I was looking at the charts and looking at W formations. I was looking at head and shoulders. I was looking at reverse head and shoulders. I was looking at a lot of different patterns that did not take what I was looking at. Also candlesticks as well. You're looking at certain candlesticks and seeing a reversal or a continuation of the growth, and for some reason it drops down drastically. Like, I understand when things are being overbought, but if the setup is there and you see the increase in buying volume over selling volume, you're going to see it continue to increase. But the fact that it went the completely opposite way, I understand that people will sell their position in order to make a profit, but that's not the case all the time. People are not going to sell all of their positions to make a profit. You're not going to see this complete downturn that you've seen here. You're going to see it go down, maybe to like 10, maybe 950, and then start to move up, especially with all the buying power that we have. So there's a lot of setups that have failed, really bad. So I'm not quite understanding the question. Failure to deliver. Somebody sent a super chat something about failure to deliver, and I can't say that I fully understand the question because, one, I'm not familiar with it. I just got familiar with it. How do you increase FTDs positively and negatively affect us? A&D, the hedge funds holding AMC. So many acronyms there. Positively and negatively affect us and the hedge funds holding AMC. Oh, it's not an acronym. It's actually and. It's just. Please do an analysis on E. I'll have to continue to break that down because I don't know. Exactly, this is crazy. Yeah, I could see all of the setups. What? Why do the grapes on AMC and GME always match? I mean, you would look at it. You would look at both charts and say, why do they really match? In most cases, and it's mainly because we do have the same buyers, but then you also have the same selling power. Usually, you don't have the same selling power within positions, so you'll see that be the difference. A lot of the same buyers that are looking to push into GME and AMC, I understand it, but with the same sellers, that shows that some manipulation is happening based on when they decide to, short the position or short ladder attack or whatever they're doing. What watch am I wearing today? It's just my normal Fossil smartwatch. I forget what it's called, the Explorers or something. A lot of times I'll wear this because I get notifications on it, even though my phone vibrates like crazy. If you haven't heard this phone vibrate, I'm sure you have. It goes off. But yeah, I'm just wearing a standard smartwatch here. Yep. When you day trade, you try to make as much money as you can. No, so I don't know how to say that. TSEDHO. Tisetto. It's just Tisetto. I mainly what I do. They asked, do you keep a profit limit per day when you trade, or are you trying to make as much money as you can? No, I have a profit target every single day to where I will get out. Now, this is where I will get out. So basically what I'll do, let's say I'm in a situation where it's a $10 stock and I'm looking to gain $1 on it, right? What I will do is look to gain $1, but only have the chance for me to lose $20. So, anyways, lose 2% of that. So, or 20% of that, sorry. So 20 cents. Basically, I want to buy 100 shares with that gaining $1, and then I'll gain $100 overall, right? Now with the loss, I'll lose 20% of that, which would be, 20 cents. And the overall picture, I would lose $20. So basically, I have 5 chances in order to, win in that situation. And I'll be disciplined. Usually, I'll be very disciplined. And if I lose on a trade, I lose on that trade. I get out of that position. But if I'm winning on that trade and it goes above my target, I will set a stop loss at where my target was. And then as that goes up, I will continue to move that stop loss. Probably do some sort of trailing stop. I don't really like to use it often, but that's what I will do in order to increase the profits that I could get. If I'm looking to gain $1,000, then I'm looking to gain $1,000 from it. But I will have a profit target every single day. It will usually stay around the same as I go through the week. And then if I can figure that that was too easy to hit, maybe I'll change my profit to loss ratio from instead of 5 to 1 to 3 to 1. Instead of I'm trying to gain $1, I would only want to lose 33%. So yeah, that's basically something that I do. I love being disciplined. It makes it very easy to trade if you are disciplined. Yes, you can lose a bunch of money, but what's the likelihood if you are doing the right setups and you're understanding what's happening here that you will lose 5 times in a row? Probably unlikely, especially if you are looking to, I don't even know where I'm going with this, looking to increase your profits here. I feel like it's not something that you can lose on if you have 5 chances to do so. If you're really looking at the charts and breaking those down and saying, hey, we have this green candlestick, we have another large body candlestick, it makes sense that they're on an upward trend. Continue through that. Let's see if we can gain $1 or we can gain $2 or whatever. For most cases, obviously, I'm looking at different positions that are big gainers. So if I'm looking at a screener and I have, let's look at certain screeners here. So yeah, I'm looking at a screener and I'm basically saying what's the high to low. I'm looking for the most distance between it. And then I could say, hey, let's see if I have one. Let's see, this one right here can move basically $8. So I have so many chances in order to gain $1 out of those $8. If it can move $10, it can move $10. But yeah, thank you, Jack Richards, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Nameless also, thank you for the super chat as well. I set a stop loss at 115 on GME with my average at 91 when it shot up the second time, and it actually dropped that low and then shot back up. Yeah, that's where it ends up being a little bit tricky, is when it does go against you. So like if you do have a position that you're in and you set a stop loss, and let's say I'm looking for something. Let's say you set a stop loss right here, right? You set a stop loss here, you could see that increase, right? But then you held it over a number of days, which typically you don't do for a day trade. But let's say this is a situation over a day, then it ends up stopping you out somewhere here, and then it does increase after that. That's where it ends up being very difficult. But the thing is, you should be able to see this multiple times. If it stops you out at your stop loss, right? You still need to look at the stock, and you still need to navigate through it and say, well, is this going to increase? Does this look like this is going to increase? So then you end up seeing those large body candlesticks and you get back in before it starts to skyrocket, which is what I would have done if I did see GME at $60 and seen that it was going to skyrocket. I thought that it was going to push up to maybe Maybe $70. I could have gotten back in at $60, but then that would have been something to where I accepted a lower price target, which was a higher loss for me, and then bought in at a higher price than where it was, which is not a good thing to do. You never want to chase the position. If you continue to chase the position, you continue to lose money. Your stop, it's a trailing stop. If you do a trailing stop loss, that's the one that will move with your position. Yeah, a lot of times I don't like to do that. There have been a number of times where I actually wasn't stopped out at where I thought it was going to be. It is a trailing stop loss. I thought it was going to stop me out at $10 below where the actual target was or where it actually was, and it did not do that. So the fact that I didn't get stopped out after I put that trailing stop loss is something that kind of deterred me from, doing it again. So that's why I always take it upon myself to manually do it, even though it's a little bit more work. And if it ends up working again, then it can work again. If I find something that's obviously a larger increase to where I don't have to worry about such a minute change, like that's not, but yeah. How much money do I call a good day? Like, I don't know what you're referring to of gains. Like, say, for me, how much money do I call a good day? Well, to tell you the truth, I don't do day trading as like my standalone job. If I did it as my standalone job, then I would need something to where I'm pushing $500, maybe $1,000. That would be a great day in order to support a lifestyle, right? With that alone, it would need to be a lot more. But to say a good day would be somewhere around $500, $1,000. But if I'm looking at any type of positive move is technically a good day. If you can be disciplined, that's how you know it's going to be a good day. So for me, when I'm day trading, it makes sense for you to just take that $100 gain, or if you're disciplined with a $20 loss. That's what I say as a good day. If you are disciplined the whole entire day, you stuck by your strategy, that's a good day no matter if it was a gain or a loss. Obviously, if you're talking about physical money, what's a good day price-wise, then something that's above that $200 mark, maybe $300, would definitely be a good day, because out of 5 days, you can gain $300, which would be pretty good each day that you get. So times that by 5, $1,500 for 1 week. 1,000 a day, so a good year. No, one, you can't trade over the weekend. So if you're counting the days, so what I typically do is I will count the weekends by doing $100 a day. So typically within that week, I want to make $200 in one of or two of those days to account for the weekend. So basically, you're looking at gaining $100 every single day, even if you do include the weekends. So that's technically what I'll see. But yeah, $1,000 would be amazing per day, but it's very tough to be able to always win every single day. Sometimes you have losing days and you have to go about it. But if you trade your whole entire account, then obviously it's very tough to do ins and outs because you have to let that money settle. But if you trade with lower amounts and you can trade 5 times in one day, then you're basically going to say, how many times, if I win 1 time out of these 5 times and I'm actually disciplined, I can still make money. Any day not a red day is a good day, someone says. Personally, I believe if you stick by your strategy and you feel like your strategy is a good one, any day that you're disciplined is a good day. You have to be disciplined. If you're losing, you're losing. Get out and go on about your day. But just don't accept the fact that it's going to continue to go down and say, oh, well, you know what, it will come back. I've been stuck in those situations multiple times. Obviously, with GME, I'm stuck in those situations multiple times. I could have been in and out multiple times during this downward turn, but I did not do it because of the fact that I didn't want to miss the boat, really. The fear of missing out really got me, and that showed that I wasn't sticking by my strategy. GME, I had multiple times to get out too. I had this point to where it went up to, that $110 mark. Obviously, I invested at the $76 mark, and I could have sold at certain portions and gained a decent amount of money. Same thing here. I could have actually gotten up to my profit target, right? Or even my stop loss, really, and I did not do it. And then it went all the way down to 38. I sold at 44, which is ridiculous, and it ended up somewhere around here. And then maybe like a day or two later, it rose basically $200, which nobody really predicted that it was going to go this high. But that shows that I did not stick by my strategy. And if I did, I would have bought in at this low, and then I would have waited for it to skyrocket. But I didn't stick by my strategy. So I fault myself for that. We have 859 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that would be absolutely phenomenal. I have looked into RKT. It is skyrocketing, but you may have missed the boat if you're looking to continue to, what's it called, drive that price up. He's talking about buying back in. He's waiting for the dip. Yeah, for GME, I definitely would love to wait for that dip, but I need to make sure that we have all of the other pieces there in order to increase that price again. Whether it will be a squeeze or just continuous increases, I don't know if this will continue to stay above this price, but looking at all of the short positions they still end up having with these stocks, it's not something that they totally got out of their short positions, right? It's still increasing. It's still they're still shorting as they go. So you're seeing this price obviously rapidly increase over the last, couple of days or so. And hopefully we can still see this increase and go above that 150 mark if we can see it increase. AMC, we're seeing the same thing. It looks basically exactly the same. The only thing is AMC looks like it had a little bit more of an increase over the last day versus GME. GME had 18%. I guess it looks more consistent without that gap. Yeah, GME looks more consistent without the gap. We have 205 likes. Thank you everybody for hitting the like button. I just need one stock under $50 to double my money. What? You just need one different stock under $50 to double your money? Who says, yeah, hit the like button, leeches? Who are you calling leeches? What's a good buy-in right now for AMC or GME? AMC, I would say, if you're looking to ride this increase, but you want to make sure that we are seeing the positive volume. But I would say if it does decrease to under $100, that would be amazing. Now it does seem that it's going to move around an average of $30 per day from what I've seen from the history of high to lows. So in seeing that, you could possibly get in below $100 here. You could also see it rise to $150. So it really depends on what the volume is as we start the day. The volume is always going to be different than what you see in the pre-market. Yes, you can see volume, but it's going to be a limited amount. Right? Same thing with AMC. I think AMC, anything really below that $10 mark, since AMC is valued at, I believe they're valued at a $10, $15 stock. Between that portion, anything below $10 is definitely good. So people that could get in at $7.85, that's amazing. People that obviously got in at $6.99 and rode that up to $11 can take a profit. But like I said, this is definitely manipulation. Nobody's taking that much of a profit. Good to see some sort of green here, but nobody's taking that much of a profit and bringing that price down. So yeah, if you guys want to know what platform this is Webull. All you have to do is go click the link in the description, sign up, deposit $100, and you'll get free stocks with it as well. Selling at 11, buying at 8. Is it paper hands? No, if you're selling for a profit, it's not paper hands. Paper hands was created just so that people don't sell, right? But the idea of the stock market is to make money. People want to make as much money as they possibly can investing at this, $3 mark and riding it all the way up to $20. I understand that. Ride it up to $20, ride it up to $100, ride it up to $1,000, whatever you want to get to. I'm not saying that's going to get to $1,000, but ride it up to the highest price. And they're looking to leave everybody else in the dust and basically play the hedge funds game as well. It's not only about those people that are holding on to those positions at a low price and gaining as much as they possibly can. It's about accepting a profit and, kind of one-upping the hedge funds here. It's about gaining money compared to the hedge funds losing money. If people are investing at these high points at $500 and you're telling people to continue to buy AMC at $500, that's not something that you want to do, because you have the potential chance of losing all of your money. Literally all of it, from $500 all the way down to $38. You lost basically all of it. You still confident in the weed stocks? I still think the same thing with the weed stocks that I thought before. So let's go ahead and look at that. I said that it was going to follow this trajectory. It looks like it is. It's fluctuating between going below and going above, but it is following the same line. I still believe that it's going to have that increase, the same increase here, maybe a little bit less of an increase. I don't know if I can move that. Yeah, a little bit less of an increase to where it's moving this way. And but I still do believe in it. I don't believe that this was the right play, because obviously they pumped the stock. They pumped and dumped it. So you pumped it all the way up to $77 and they pumped it all the way back down to where it started, basically. So that's how you know it was a pump and dump. It got back to where it started. It didn't have that rapid increase and then even a shred of green here to bring the price up. So you're going to see it start to do the same, and all the other weed stocks are going to be the same way. All the other cannabis stocks are going to be the same way. So we have 900 people in here. If you could hit that like button, that would be amazing. What's up, everybody? I see people saying, hey, how you doing? Meme stocks. Yeah, people are calling them meme stocks. They have to label them somehow. Obviously, I don't like to call them meme stocks, but I do, just for the sake of what people are looking at. So hungry. Great long-term hold. This is where it ends up being tough for me, because I'm not really, only really long-term plays that I would play are dividend positions, and a dividend position, and that does look pretty decent. But the only long-term plays that I would really play are dividend positions and mutual funds, index funds. That's what I would look at for my long-term plays. The fact that it is flattening out, you see this large increase and then a decrease. If you're looking at a 10,000 foot view here, and you see that large increase that it did have and then flattened out, actually not flattened out, it's slowly decreasing, which is not a great sign. You do have the 15 moving average crossing over back and forth, which it looks like it's starting to cross back over now. So you're going to see a little bit of an increase here. Maybe it can get to that $1 mark, but like I said, I really don't like to deal with penny stocks. I was going to create a video on it. I just felt like the video wasn't good enough to post. I was going to post that video today, but I'm going to recreate that and post that video why I don't really like penny stocks, and why I may shy away from it. And it's not going to be something to where I never look at it, but yeah, just looking at this from a 10,000 foot view, long term is not something I would look at here. Maybe you can see that decrease a little bit more. It looks like it's a slow decrease, even though you are seeing that crossover. We've seen that crossover a couple of times. So we would like to see the 200 EMA below the 15 moving average, but you're seeing that crossover here, which may be a false cross, and this might be a false cross as well. So you never really know until you actually get into a lot of the detail there, but it looks like it's decreasing quite a bit, quite substantially. So I don't think it could be a long-term play now, but if it decreases a little bit more, or if you want to just throw some in there and expect some sort of decrease, then yeah, but I wouldn't say throw everything in there, throw the whole bag in there. You like the hat, by the way. Thank you. I can't wait. It's supposed to be, I think, 50 degrees today. I would love to golf, but I know that golf courses aren't open. The courses are still filled with snow. I'm so hungry right now. My stomach is going ridiculous. We have 900 people in here. Continue to hit that like button, guys. 900 people watching. We should have like 500 likes if you guys support me. Is this the position that you're looking at here? Hertz. Is it Mika? Is there any potential in Hertz? Especially after their recent announcement. My handicap is 15. I wouldn't say, actually it's been as low as single digits, but I haven't been doing a lot. I'm redoing my simulator. Have you ever tried trading while golfing? Yes, if I have long-term investments, technically I'm trading while golfing. Is this what you're talking about, Mika? Have I ever tried intermittent fasting? Yes, I do it all the time. Are you asking that as a joke question, or? Because I talk about that all the time. I do intermittent fasting. Trying to find Mika's response here, because I want to know if this is it. She's. You mentioned that you were hungry, so I thought I'd ask. That's funny. Yeah, that's basically what I do. It's intermittent fasting. Well, let me go ahead and look at this. Yes, this is okay. So, with day trading, I'll tell you the different portions of this. With day trading, I don't like to look at news because news will not give me anything that I really want to know when it comes to trading per day. But if you're looking at this, as a 10,000 foot view, a 10,000 foot view basically saying history will dictate what the future will bring, right? You're seeing a lot of positive movement, right? You see a lot of jumps, but obviously the stock market goes down more than it goes up. But you're gonna see, you have these large jumps, these large gap ups, and even gap downs, which don't really sit well with me. Now this is a 10,000 foot view, so it doesn't really tell you exactly what's happening now because you're not seeing the gap ups that you would see then. You are seeing a lot of crossover between the 15 moving average and the 200 EMA, which not really the best sign in the world. The thing that you can look at as a positive is this final crossover and it getting to a point to where it was about to cross and it did not. So it has a little bit of buying strength, a little bit of, a lot of buying strength actually. So if I was looking at this saying, is this going to be more of a long-term option or is this a good swing trade? You can definitely get a good swing trade out of it if you pick the right times with all of the gaps that it does have. What was the highest price? So yeah, it looks like it has had a pretty decent fall. Pretty decent fall over the long term to where it was being oversold here and continuing to decrease. But it stayed flat for a while, and then you're seeing these large increases, these spikes that you would see. So it's very tough to say. Long term, I don't know what the actual news is. Hertz gets a bid to purchase the company out of bankruptcy for $4.2 billion. That could create some positivity, but then again, news, it depends how people take that news. Take that news as in they were very close to bankruptcy or you know, basically they're getting out of bankruptcy, right? So you look at that as positive news. I can say that you could see some sort of increase here, some sort of spike like you've seen in the past with all of these spikes. But just know that I don't believe it's going to stay up there. You could see it increase. Where is it at? $1.64. You could see it double in price as you see a crazy spike. But right now you're still seeing some pretty decent selling power after this rapid increase here. So it could be something that you throw a little bit of money into in order to have an increase. But then again, I don't really look at a lot of stocks for the news and continue to drive my money into like longer term positions. The only long term positions I put my money into are mutual funds, index funds, dividend positions. That's really what I'm dealing with. So I don't know. I would say pick your spots here, especially for a day trading position. Pick your spots here. It could be interesting, but this is over a number of days you've seen this increase, so it would have to be a swing trade. So hopefully that does help a little bit, but like I said, I'm not really a long-term investor at heart. I'm more of a short-term investor or short-term trader. Let's go with that. Trader and investor shouldn't be used interchangeably like that. Thanks for the help. I appreciate you asking the question, and thank you for the super chat. What do I think about CCIV? I haven't looked at CCIV in a while. Let's look at CCIV is popular. CCIV is tough because you've seen that this wasn't really a pump and dump. It was really an increase over a number of days. It doesn't really seem like a pump and dump to me, but then everybody started to sell off. You know, you had this large portion here, and that makes sense. This is more of a pump, and then you have that large dump down to basically where it was. And saying large dump is weird, but yeah, having this like large decrease here and having it stop where basically it started to increase is definitely a great sign of a pump and dump. Now, as you start to see the days, you can see it increasing and flattening out, shows where it has the selling and buying power. You can definitely see this increase, and a lot of people are actually bullish on this. So I can say that you can see a increase over a number of days. You can have a decent swing trade as long as you pick the right time period. You can look and see that we are seeing massive decreases over a number of days, but we are seeing pretty good increases over the last couple. You know, seeing how this is moving from $26 all the way up to, you know, $33. It's not a huge increase, but it is a pretty substantial increase compared to the stock price, right? So you're seeing good moves here, but with this flattening out or decreasing by less than 1%, that's not the worst sign in the world. It's only less than 1%, and then in the pre-market is 1%. That's not something that you have to, you know, you're going to blow up your account over. So right now we may be sitting close to the bottom. This $26 mark may be close to the bottom that it's going to hit before it starts to increase again. So I believe all of this growth was justified. All of this growth was justified, and then obviously took a little bit of a hit with a lot of the people selling off, and now it's starting to get back up to where it was, which means that it will increase from there on out. So here it should have been increasing like this, but now it's obviously has that bowed out, and it's going to continue on that upward trajectory. So you're probably going to see a little bit of flattening out here, and over the next couple of days you may see it pass $40. And if you see an influx of people looking to increase that price, then obviously it can happen over 1 or 2 days rather than a couple of days. A couple of days is 2 days. It can happen over 1 or 2 days, over like a week or 2 weeks. What about VZI? So this is going to be my last one looking at for right now, and then I'm going to go back into AMC to see what it is. That looks like a massive swing trade that you could see over a number of days, seeing that increase and seeing it not really fight the price. The only thing that I would say is that you did have this dip here, and seeing this dip here and seeing this massive increase, you're probably going to have to wait for another dip before you actually get in. But if you're going to ride the price up as it continues to skyrocket, you can definitely see that as a swing trade. Even if you do lose money here, it's going to continue to stay on that upward trajectory. Over the last however many weeks and months, you're going to see that this price stayed above the 200 EMA. As it continues to increase in price, you're going to see that stay above it, and I believe that that's going to be consistent until you see the point to where people do end up selling off a little bit more. We have 844 people in here. Please hit that like button, get it above 400 likes. That would be phenomenal. I'm all in with you, all on AMC. That's good, Ryan. That's great. Hopefully you have a low cost basis. I'm going to do what I do. You feel me? But I love your videos. Yeah, I mean, definitely do it. Definitely do what you think is right. You got in at 28 or what? Ooh. Oh, CCIV. You got in at $28. So yeah, if you got in at $28 for CCIV, if that's what you're talking about, let's go back. For CCIV, then I think that that's pretty good. I think that may be where the low is right now. If you get in at that $28 mark here, that may be where the low is, and you might see it continue to increase, you know, and have a pretty decent gain. Which I may make some moves if it does decrease below $30. I may make a little bit of moves into CCIV since I do have some disposable income here. So that's definitely interesting for me. But like I said, I'm not really a swing trader at heart. I'm more of a day trader, but I am getting interested in some of these swing trade moves. So I wish that the $4,000 that I put into the account would go into the account, but you know, it hasn't. So yeah, some of these positions I'm probably going to end up selling off these positions so I can use that money for other things, maybe other swing trades that I believe in. But yeah, you may see me do that during the day. Let's see what AMC and GME are doing. So AMC is now down to $9.11, $9.12. GME is down to $118, which is better than where it was. So that's good. If it opens up at 120, then you're going to see that change of maybe $30 or so. Whether it's, you know, half positive, half negative, or full negative or full positive. And then also if you see an influx of volume, then you're going to see a massive increase, hopefully to the positive side. But I'm making moves with little money. Yeah, well, that's good, Ryan. To definitely, it's great to get started. Because if you start getting interested in it, then you're going to understand what you can do once your account gets to a size to where you can really make some moves. It's about just being positive at this point. If you can gain $10, that's great. If you can gain $20, that's great. That's extra income that you have coming in the door. Yes, you are going to have to pay taxes on those gains, but it's a learning curve, really. And it's better to get that learning curve done when you're investing with little money rather than large amounts of money. So if you're investing in one position that's $20 and you're looking for it to gain $1, just know that if you do win in that situation and you had more money in that position, then you would have gained $100. So that would have been a point to where you won in that instance. So it's just about getting a strategy down, understanding what your strategy will be, and be able to be profitable, whether you have a bunch of losing days and then one winning day and end up being profitable out of it. Do I smoke? No, I don't smoke. I don't smoke anything. Literally every single day I get that question. Buy the dip. Yes, buy the dip, bro. Man, if you get 20 to 30% in a day, take your damn profit. Yeah, that's what it's about. It's about being disciplined. Being disciplined is the hardest thing to do. There's so many people that are like, oh, the stock market is easy. I got into this stock or whatever, and I'm going to sell it for a profit because it's so high. But they didn't sell it for a profit. Getting out is the hardest part of investing, 100%. I look at it and I go, I'm going to look at Blackberry because someone asked me, but I look at it and I basically say, like, how can I be the most disciplined I could be? Well, set your profit target, and no matter what, if it goes above your profit target, then continue to adjust that stop loss, but don't ever put it below that profit target. And then you'll always be profitable there. And then if you have a loss target that you're at, stick by that loss target. Do not let it go below that loss target. It has to stop you out as you get to there. And that's okay to lose every once in a while. People will lose. If people win in the stock market 100% of the time, then they're not telling the truth. They're not. They're not trading. They don't like to trade. They don't like to put money in the stock market. Like that's what happens. Nobody wins 100% of the time. The stock market goes down more than it goes up. So it's not something that you can win every single time. You can't be right with everything. There are some people that have a win percentage of maybe like 70% or 60%, but you're never going to sit here and have a win percentage of 80-90%. It's not going to happen. Everybody loses. I lose all the time. It's about how disciplined you are when you lose. What is the forecast for Blackberry? Why is it down to $10? So for Blackberry, it's the issue of the fact that it has no volume. There's so many people that are focused on other areas. And yes, you can see that it did increase here and had that little spike. The same thing that GME, AMC, costs. Everybody had this spike around here because people were getting back into these quote unquote meme stocks. So that's the reason why it is so low right now, is because you're seeing the lack of volume come through the door. And that's why it continues to decrease. My daughter is making a lot of noise upstairs. That and my Nokia will go all the way up when 5G goes off. I think Nokia could be a long-term play, but like I said, I'm not really a long-term option. The only thing that I play that's close to long-term is AMC because I'm holding so many shares and I believe in it so much. But there's a lot of times where I'm like, well, you know what? If I had literally that $15,000 out of here in order to invest into different positions, I could have gained a couple $1,000s, maybe 10, 12, 15. I could have gained a lot of money over the last however many days by doing that. But you could have also lose money as well because of the fact that just because you're winning doesn't mean you're going to win all the time. So, and just because you see the positivity of when you could invest in there, who knows if you would have gotten in at that point. And I could tell you that there's some points to where I would have gotten in and gotten stopped out for a stop loss. There's some points to where I would have gotten in and gained a significant amount. So yeah, but BB, I would say the only reason that we're seeing that decrease in the price is because of the lack of volume. We've seen the same thing with AMC and GME, the lack of volume that was there, but we're seeing less volume with Blackberry because most people that are focused on these quote unquote meme stocks are focused on AMC, GME, and probably costs. That's why I have them up at the top, because that's the main focus of these stocks. Selling GME after it gets to 250. I don't know if it will get to 250 today, but if you're positive, you're positive. I mean, what do you think about buying Rolls Royce? I don't know about buying Rolls Royce. Probably won't. For the long term, I'm not really a long-term investor, but you might want to do your own due diligence as well. I don't know if this is it. You might want to do your own due diligence as well. I don't like seeing those large gap downs, and I don't know if this is the right position that we're supposed to be looking at. I don't know which one it is, but I'm not really a long-term investor. Let's say it's this one, but I don't like seeing that decrease, and obviously you see a lot of increase here. You may have missed a little bit of the boat if you're looking to gain maybe 30 cents out of that, maybe a little bit more. But yeah, you might start seeing this crossover. So it looks like the 200 EMA is about to cross over the 15 moving average, which means that it could be a spike in volume, and you'll see the price go up. So I'm not really a long-term investor, like I've said multiple times today. The only thing that I have long-term, dividends, index funds, mutual funds. We have 400 likes on this video. Thank you for everybody that hit the like button. Also, we have 900 people watching. See if we can get it to 1,000. Got a lot of work to do though. As soon as I get off of here, I got a lot of work to do. So I'm gonna have to end solidly at 10 o'clock. It updates every day. So basically, they don't have a certain time period to cover. They're going to pay interest as long as they hold it, right? But as they start to cover different positions, they're starting to lower that interest rate for them. And it's not really looking at, I am reading the super chats. Tobias, I am reading the super chats. I read all the super chats that I had. Where was that? You think, can AMC go below $9 today? You want it to go below so you can buy into it? I mean, I would like it to go that low so I can buy into it. Maybe I could buy some more shares. Because my cost basis on Webull is a little bit higher than what I have on Fidelity. Just a little bit higher. My child just tripped. Entry point for what? For AMC or GME? Tobias, did you read the super chats? What indicators do you use on your charts? So I'll use a 200 EMA for anything that's longer term. If I'm looking at a 10,000 foot view, obviously that shows me a lot. But for like maybe a couple of days or a day, you can see the long-term movement, which is over a large amount of candlesticks, versus the 15 moving average, which is over a simpler view of it and brings it more in line with what the stock price is doing. Sometimes I'll use a 20 moving average to kind of pull that indicator away from that stock price a little bit more to see where the pullback will be. Because with the 15 moving average, you see it cross over a lot. The price cross over way too much. Versus the 20 moving average, you can see it cross over a lot less, and you'll see it pull away from that indicator a lot more. So that's mainly what I'll do. And then I'll also use the RSI as well to see where it's being overbought and see when this downturn could take place, or when an increase could take place. Sometimes the increases aren't really told here. So I can't really see when it's actually being completely oversold. And by the time it catches up with it, by the time I see that, I'll invest maybe here and expect it to increase, but it ends up decreasing a lot more. So that's not what you want, obviously. Analyst changed GME to hold. You're saying GME, if I look at Analyst, it's more of a hold and it's underperforming? Yeah. Well, when did they change that? I haven't looked at this in a while. What's AMC? I believe they're at the same boat. 11% sell. Wow. 55% hold though. They don't like us playing their game. Yeah, they don't. Yeah, 100%. What about 5 and 15 moving averages? That's a little too close for me. That's something where you're looking for a very small change. And if you look for a very small change, then obviously you want it to move cents. And that's not what I look for. I want it to move at least dollars. So that's why I'm looking for a 20 moving average. If I look at the a 5 moving average and 15 moving average, is not something that really sits well with me. I'm not looking for those small changes. How many platforms do you have accounts for? I have accounts with Fidelity, Webull, a lot of different accounts. I don't want to name all of them, but the main ones that I use are Fidelity and Webull. I do have a couple of shares of AMC with Robinhood, but I don't really use it that much, and I bought it at a $12 mark, so yeah. So we have about 12 minutes until the market opens. I like your moves because we can make some real money semi-quick. Yeah, I mean, that's the point, is to make money. My mic is really quiet today. Can you hear it now? I was covering, like if I'm covering here, you can't really hear me because the voice isn't coming directly down. But that might be the case, is that I'm honestly, this guy is honest. He has his own thing and he speaks the truth. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate you saying that. I appreciate that a lot. But yeah, that's what I look to do, is really just to help everybody gain a profit. And if you understand your own strategy, you can make a little bit more money. Whether you're swing trading or day trading or long-term investing, you can build your own strategy based on that and be able to be successful as long as you're disciplined. The stock market is very difficult. It's easy to get in, it's hard to get out. It's a little quiet. Well, it does look like it's hitting the yellow, so, and I don't want to raise it too much because right now my child is crying upstairs. We're dealing with potty training still for a long period of time, so. Just got back in your live stream. It's finally 1080p. Yeah, finally 1080p. You didn't get a notification for it? Yeah. I got to keep muting and unmuting the mic because this child is really like screaming upstairs because we're dealing with potty training and it's not really going too well. So I'm trying to, mute all of the crying that I hear upstairs. So yeah. When I think of potty training, I think of I haven't seen that. Well, that's what I was gonna do. I heard about that, potty training without a diaper for a while. I was thinking of doing that, and my wife didn't want to do it because obviously she doesn't want her to pee on the couch or anything like that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's tough. We've been dealing with it for a while, for a long time. Sorry, we're getting into a whole different discussion. But make sure everybody hits that like button. We got 1,168 people in here. It sucks that people didn't get notifications for it. I did hear that people don't get notifications for some of my videos, and I understand that. Maybe I'm being some shadow banned in some way. I don't know. But we're going to get into this. Hopefully we have some positive news with AMC, positive movement. My thumbnail always cracks you up. I try and stay with the same, a lot of the same things. I'll use the same actual pictures, but then change a lot of the words or something like that. It's not something I need to change up crazy, but I will have different pictures, and I have a number of pictures already taken. What mic is that, Matthew? Why'd I say my own name? I don't know. It's a mic from Amazon. I do have a couple of other mics, like actual professional mics. It just gets in the way. I was playing like games on my other channel, the Perry Experience channel, and it just gets in the way. Like I can't really see anything. I feel like I'm limited movement, and if I like bump it by accident, it makes a ton of noise. So did you watch the latest WandaVision? Yes, I did. What do you think of it? I think it's amazing. It showed so much backstory, so much information that I didn't know because I thought, and it's maybe going over people's heads because some people didn't watch WandaVision, but I think everybody really thought that their powers came from the Mind Stone, but it did not. It ended up having powers beforehand, so that was interesting. But it was really good. Am I muted? Oh, did I spoil it for people? I mean, it's been. I didn't spoil anything though. any of the I'll make sure I don't talk about WandaVision on the next couple of episodes. Well, the next episode, actually, the last one is this Friday. That wasn't a spoiler. It wasn't a spoiler. I did spoil something. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I gotta use my Marvel brain. I'm sorry, man. Everybody, I'm muted. I'm sorry. It hasn't been a week. It's been like a couple of days. It's been like 4 days, 5 days. I didn't spoil anything. I really only talked about one piece. But yeah, there's a lot that goes into that episode. It's really good. So I'm not going to spoil anything else. No more talking about WandaVision. No more. Let's talk about AMC and GME, because that's where we're at. 1,155 people, or 1,208 people in here. It's different on my streaming software versus on YouTube. Hit that like button if you can. That does help out the channel a lot. We talked about a number of things, AMC, GME. We talked about Tesla. We talked about the movement, what the potential movement could be today. I do like the fact that it's hovering around basically where it closed. Hopefully we can see that increase right from the start, but typically we see that decrease. Stop talking about it. Yeah. Title of this video: WandaVision spoilers. No, there's no spoilers. Let's stop talking about it. All right, let's not throw spoilers in the comments for people that. But yeah, hit that like button. So yeah, I do like the fact that it is hovering around where it closed. Hopefully we can see some sort of increase. The problem that we normally see is the fact that right when it opens, it does decrease. So we are seeing a little bit of positive movement up here, but hopefully we can see the volume. We're not seeing too much movement, so we might not see a ton of volume right now. I believe I only see 633,000 volume. What do you think of AMC's highest today could be? If we're looking at the volume compared to other days it was somewhere around the 1 million, 2 million mark, from what I understand. We're seeing less volume. Hopefully we could see more positivity, but just because we had less volume, yesterday was an indication that it could still go up, even though we have less volume. But we ended up with having just a slight bit more volume, I think, or no, we had 3 million less volume, and we still had a pretty decent increase, pretty sizable increase of 14%. So I'm thinking that we could either increase, we might end the day sort of flat at like 950, but I think it could top maybe $10 or push that $10 mark, as long as we continue to see this volume. And this is where, if I see a large drop, I don't know if I would love to sell at my break-even point or higher than that, make a little bit of money, and then buy in at $7. I would love to get back in at $7. You see AMC at $10.20. That's a good move. Where in PA are you? I'm in Reading, Pennsylvania. A little bit outside of Reading. People are holding, that's why it's so low. People that hold the position, that's not why it's so low. If people are holding a lot of the position, then that means the demand of it should be astronomical, right? So the price should increase if we are holding this. But since the price is not increasing, means that there's some sort of manipulation that's happening, a bunch of manipulation, because a lot of people are holding these positions. Now you do have people that are selling off. As you start to see what's happening in the day, you could see that it's starting to sell off from maybe a couple of people that want to take some profits, but then also you have hedge funds that are continuing to short the positions. They're going to continue to short it and short it and short it until they end up winning in the deal. I did talk about cannabis stocks earlier. Cannabis stocks, I believe, are going to follow a trend here. So you can see that we are seeing that above the trend line that I created, But if you look at the 10,000 foot view, you're going to see that it's basically following this trend line, right? So it's going to be something that follows like this. Probably move this up a little bit, but it's going to be something that follows like this, and it's going to continue to slowly increase until we see people drive that price up. This was mainly for the point to where people drove the price up in order to dump it. It was a pump and dump. So yeah, you bought in at AMC at $10.95. I would like to, if I was at $10.95 or $11, I would love to lower my cost basis. And right now I would even love to lower my cost basis to like $7 if it can get to that point. But it looks like it's really like slowly pushing up, just like I said. Shorts may attempt to crash the market as a Hail Mary. How could they possibly do that? Like the overall market? You're saying they're basically going to say, you know what, if we can crash the overall market by shorting every position that's out there, you know, bringing the stock price down, you're saying that they're putting that much stock into AMC and GME just to bring them down in order to manipulate the overall market rather than just GME and AMC? Where are AMC and yeah, it should be, I believe the value of the stock is between $10 to $15. So if we can push that $10 mark, and now we're seeing it open, if we could push that $10 mark, then that's obviously going to be a good thing. So you do see that as an increase here right now. You're seeing slight increase, or slight decrease, sorry. Down 1%, down more than 1%, almost 1.5%. You're seeing GME down 1%. So it's really pushing. Let's see if it goes below $9. Do we have any people that are going to buy in at $9? We did have a wall, 10,000 shares at $9. We do have more shares at $9.02, 3 cents, 4 cents, 5 cents. And we have a lot of selling orders as well at those same prices. Oh man. So it looks like Tesla's green, up, you know, fractions of percents. GME's or AMC still hovering around that $9 mark. Let's see if we can put up. It broke past it. It broke past it down to $9 or $8.99. If you buy 10K, if you see 10K, it's me. Okay, well that's good. Are you buying at a certain point? Are you buying at like, you know, $8 or trying to buy at like $8.50 or whatever? Where are you looking to buy at? 10K volume buy. I believe it really should be at 16. It's definitely at a higher value than where it actually is. It should be at a lot higher value, especially with all the people holding. Show us the 10K green candlestick. We're seeing some good movement here. We've seen about 2.5 million in the first minute. That's not bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. 770K in the second minute. If it starts to really decrease below 1 million, then obviously we're not going to see an increase in volume. We may see a decrease because of the lack of volume here. But this is only the first 30 minutes, so don't take this to heart. Same thing with GME. It looks like it's decreasing a little bit, dropping to 113. What trading platform is this? This is Webull. Link in the description. Click the link, sign up, deposit $100, and you'll get your free stocks. Or you can just use the platform to view it. It's not the online platform, so it's not the desktop, or sorry, it is the desktop application. It's not the website application. So you have to download it. Mavis is moving. It's up 7%. It's making a little bit of a move, but not not in the day. It made a move overnight, basically. Right now, it's actually down from where it opened. AMC is now down 2%. GME is down basically 5% here. You are seeing a little bit of an uptick here. Hopefully you can. It's not looking like it's moving in a normal day. This may be a pretty like lax day because of the fact that we're not seeing as much volume. Can you put up a double view of AMC and GME? Yeah, I can do that. So GME's on the left, AMC. I don't want to get them confused and say that they're matching. And when they're not matching, let's look at how they look. So it looks like, you're seeing a difference here. You see GME here, over here, it's now pushing the 2% mark, 2.5% mark, while AMC is really looking at that 2% mark as well. So it's down 2%, AMC is down 2%, GME is down 2%. It's starting to push up though. You see GME really making a move, and AMC, both of them are making moves. It's above 120. Let's see if we can continue to push that volume above 121. There we go. Seeing a little bit of a move here. AMC will announce Q4 earnings at market close. I feel like that's not going to really help too much in any instance. You do see these increases. You see AMC now above $9.20, $9.23. You see GME up at $123. They're definitely moving at this moment. We may have a little bit of a lag here. I'm not 100% sure how high the lag is, but it looks pretty good. It looks like I try to keep it the low latency. I should do ultra low latency, see how that works. Oh, here we go. Limited shares on Cash App. I just bought $1 of GME. You mean 1 share of GME? Is that the minimum on Cash App? Yeah, so you see it coming back a little bit. It's still, hovering above that $112, $111 mark. You do see this pushing still above 120. See if we can continue to get above there. I would love to see this, obviously, like I said, I believe that it could still hover around that 135-ish mark, and then get as low as $105. So the fact that it got down to 112 means that you may have a 30 difference between there, and it may be to the point to where it goes a little bit lower than that, but right now the low is 112. So if a movement is $30, you're basically going to see it at like 142. Let's say that's it. I believe it still has the potential to hit 150. And AMC, I hope we can see some slow positive movement here, because it doesn't look like, do I predict GME? Wait, GME I predict to go to 200 today. That'll be tough to go to 200. Because it means that it has to move, going from that $120 mark. When did it open? It opened at 116, so it would basically have to move like a whole $80+ in one day, which is very tough. And I know it did do that previously, but you've seen the increase in volume, and hopefully if we do see the increase in volume at like 1 o'clock or at the end of the day, yes, then you can get to that point. I believe that 150 is definitely in the cards. Can you lower your cost average with call options? I'm not familiar with calls, but yes, I believe once you hit, actually, I'm not going to talk on, I'm not familiar with options. So I'm not going to talk on it like I know what you can do with your overall price, because I don't know. It's right up at my break-even point here, close to it, of $9.38. I'm still not even logged into Fidelity on this laptop. I wanted to see how that affects where I am, because yesterday it hit a high, I believe, of like $9.45, I want to say. Yep, it's at $9.40 now. $9.38, going back and forth. Now at $9.38 here. So it's right at my break-even point. It's going to continue to push up. I know it is. We're seeing a positive day, even with less volume. Look at that. We're only seeing 7 million in volume over the first like 10 minutes or so, 8 minutes, I guess. And we're seeing positive movements. That's really good. That's really good. GME is still hovering around that 120 mark, while AMC is now starting to pull back. It did gap down here. That's interesting. It had a gap. I don't like seeing gap downs. That's not a good sign. That's not a good indication of the price action going our way. We have 1,600 people in here. Please hit that like button if you can. Get it above 1,000 likes. That will be amazing. Yes, I know that options can make you money, but they can also lose you a lot of money if you don't really understand it. So I know that Warren Buffett trades options. I know that a bunch of people trade options, and I would like to be interested in that. But my main focus that I like to focus on is just day trading. Really works. What does gap mean? It actually doesn't have that gap anymore. But basically, a gap just means between one candlestick and another, you're going to see a price change to where it closed at, let's say, it closed at that candlestick at, let's say, $9, and the next candlestick closed. Next candlestick opened at $8.80. That's a 20-cent gap, and basically saying within less than a second, it basically moved 20 cents, which is a huge gap. So that's what you don't like to see, but the gap is gone, so it adjusted itself. Honest opinions to buy into IDEX. So I'm going to look at this really quick. Let me bring up 4 charts so we can still look at AMC and GME. So if I'm, whoa. So it definitely is taking a hit today from, you know, this open of $3.70 down to $3.56, right? So it's down 1%. It's not a huge hit. It just looks like a bigger hit. So let's go ahead and look at a 10,000 foot view, see if I can see that. Hopefully you can see it down here. You can see that it did have a massive decrease over the last number of days. I'm going from that $5 mark all the way down to $2 of a low, which it does have an increase here. So this looks like more of a dip rather than just a slow decrease. So let's go ahead and look at more of a 100,000 foot view. You can see that massive increase that it did have. Now, I don't know where the actual low will be over the number of months. So back from November, you could see it was at 77 cents, had that large increase, continued to go uphill. So you had a lot of people that were interested in buying in this. And seeing that interest obviously get up to a certain point and then sell off, this may be where that bottom actually is. So this might be a good swing trade for you, especially since it is turning back and you can see the 15 moving average start to creep up to the 200 EMA, which if it does cross over, it indicates an increase. So I believe that you can actually get some pretty decent moves there. So yeah, I would say it's a swing trading opportunity. I wouldn't look at it as a day trading opportunity. For me, it doesn't look like it moves too much. I want things to move like $1 or 50 cents and be able to invest it at a certain portion, but it doesn't look like it moves like that. So over a number of days, you can get a pretty decent increase here, especially being at this $2 mark. If it can lower itself a little bit more, maybe get down to $3, that's where it would be a great point to invest. But that's all speculation. You have a lot of buy orders that are coming in at, you know, $3.50. So if you can get in at $3.50, I think that may be a good point to get in and gain $1, depending how many shares you actually buy. So it could be a good move. But yeah, let's go back to 2 charts. What platform is this? This is Webull. If you want this platform, hit the link in the description. You can get free stocks by depositing $100, signing up and depositing $100. Looks like we're making a move here. 126 Maybe we could push 130. That would be amazing. You are seeing AMC push that $9.30 mark. I'm sitting at a realized gain for today, or unrealized gain for today, of $202. Overall loss since purchase is $90 because it's obviously below my break-even point. I would love to be able to get in lower. I would love to be able to get in at sub $9. That would be amazing. But obviously it's tough for me to lower that cost average down quite a bit, because I would need to buy about 2,000 shares in order to really break in between where I am. But it is at $9.38. That's still low. GME was definitely making a move, and now it's kind of leveling off. You could see how it was up to 126, now back down to 124. AMC is still hovering at that $9.30 mark. What sale point should I set so I can buy back in at a lower position when and where? $9.30 is my average. This is what I'm struggling with, because if $9.30 would be my average, I understand mine is $9.38. This is what I struggle with, because I always think that the stock price can come back down. So if I can get out at $9 and, you know, or $10 and make a little bit of money from it, and then buy back in at $7, if it does get back down to that point, then I'll be good. But the fear of missing out is really sitting with me. You know, the fact that, is it going to drop back down to $7? It doesn't have that potential to drop back down to $7. I don't know. It's very unpredictable. This whole position, all of these positions are very unpredictable that we're looking at, because it's driven by the people and what they want to do, which every stock is driven by the people, but most people invest based on news or you know, earnings or whatever. For this case, we're really just investing to squeeze the hedge funds out of their positions. So it's a different look on it. That's what I'm saying. I don't want to chance it and have that decrease, even though there's been multiple days to where it got to $9.40 and it ended up decreasing down to about $7. And if it did that, then I could get in at a lower cost basis. $9+ is too steep. This is where I struggle with it. I'm basically saying, is this stock price going to increase? Are we going to see a crazy move here? Can I get in at a lower point? Is this starting to be overbought at this point? It's not. It was overbought up here above 70, but it's not overbought here. So is this being overbought? I don't know. It's starting to decrease here. It's starting to get to about $9.30. This is where it ends up being a little bit tough to actually gauge. So that's what I'm struggling with right now, is the difference between taking any type of profit or taking a break even to get in at a lower point to know that I will gain a profit. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's where I struggle. And this is the hardest decision that I've ever obviously made, because the fear of missing out is obviously hitting different than any position that I've ever gotten into. There's a lot of silence there. Actually daydreaming. Trying to figure out what comment on today's volume so far. Today's volume doesn't really look amazing, but we are seeing an increase. So the volume is only around 10 million, right? This is what the volume looks like. And the average is 146 million. If we actually looked at what the stock does over the rest of the day, it's actually probably going to decrease in the amount of volume. You could see every minute. This minute we had 288 million shares worth of volume. This minute we had, this minute we had 215. So it's lower, surprisingly lower. I thought it would be a lot higher. But yeah, that's where it ends up being a little bit tough. GME is definitely making some moves here. We have $126 here. You're seeing a little bit of a move downhill for AMC, which is good and bad, right? We're seeing it kind of flatten out, not really increase. It's really flattening out. This is what you've seen yesterday. You've seen that increase where people could buy the dip. If we could see some volume increases here, we can get it back up to $9.40, $10. I feel like we should finish a lot higher. It shouldn't be something that caps out at $9.40. So I could see my prices are being a little bit different. And see if we could see a slight dip and then hopefully have those increases here. We are not seeing a ton of volume though. We're not seeing a ton of volume. UBX coming out with COVID skin tests and new antibiotics. Their price per share used to be $2,000. Any thoughts? Not at the moment. I don't have any thoughts. Their price used to be $2,000. Well, that's a high price to get into. What is it actually at now? Bring up the 4 grids. Their price used to be $2,000. In what time period? Let's go back 5 years. Yeah, I mean, it totally gapped down. I don't know about that. I mean, obviously you're going to have a lot of positions that start out pretty high, and if they gap down a significant amount like that, it's not a great sign. You know, something that gaps down from $2,000 down to $300 is not a great sign unless they obviously did a split, which I don't know if they did, so I don't have that history. But it doesn't look solid to me. The current price is at 39 cents. Something that was once $2,000 is not really a good sign to me. I understand they could see an increase. You may see an influx of people that are interested in it, but I wouldn't say that it's the best bet to get back to like $2,000. You might see it, you know, with any type of positive news, you might see it increase and could double in the price, could go up to $1, but it doesn't show any signs of that. Yeah, it doesn't really show any signs of that. Actually, I lied. In the last couple of days, it has hit $1. So where's that now? $1.21, $1.22 actually. So yeah, I guess I was looking at the wrong price, I guess. But it does show a little bit of potential for some growth, but I don't think you're going to see a crazy amount of growth here over the long term. Then again, I'm not a long-term investor, so if you feel as though you can put a little bit of money in there and have a substantial amount of growth, then go for it. What we need to see is AMC pull back. We need to see, or not pull back, we need them to push up. We need that to continue to cross over. It looks like the 15 moving average is now taking a turn for the worse to pull back down to the 200 EMA. Hopefully we can see this large green candlestick continue to push up to about $9.30, $9.40, $9.50. We would love to see that. We have 1,600 people in here. Please hit that like button if you're watching. If you've been watching for a while, just remove the chat, hit the like button, then go back into the chat. That helps out people get here. I understand we only have 7 minutes to go over this. This was definitely a shorter stream. But yeah, wheat stocks are running up. Tilray's up 10%. That's really good. Really good for the day. That's amazing. Yep, it's still above that trend line that I created. So we'll continue to see that move. I don't know how fast they will run up, but it all depends who's pumping it, you know? Yeah, I would love to see. I'm like contemplating the fact that whether it will go back down to like $8 or so. Yesterday, it had a pretty decent move to where it moved from, and I know I'm going off topic here. Well, not really off topic, but it did have a decent move to where it went up to $9.45 and then dropped all the way down to $8.78, sub $9. That's what I was hoping for, is to see that move. But that happened after the first minute. So you've seen this decrease, increase, decrease, increase, an influx in volume. And that's what I'm looking for, is that large increase, maybe to get to like $10 or so, and then see if you do have the potential chance of decreasing, because that's what I want. For the only thing here is that you are seeing that slight decrease, a larger increase, and then you're seeing that decrease here. But I don't know how far it is going to drop down. But then again, I'm still holding at $9.38. That's my cost basis, my cost average. I'm still pretty new to stocks. How does the volume affect the price? So obviously, if you have the volume there, then you know you have a lot of demand. And for the people that are holding these positions and everybody that buys into it, you're bringing that stock up from 70% held to 80% held to 90% held. And obviously, the volume really does affect the price in a big way. But it still does depend whether it is positive or negative volume. But most likely, you're going to see a lot of people buy in at certain levels of volume, and you're going to see less people sell off, unless it's a huge down day. But volume definitely affects what the price is going to do. You can see that Tilray is really making a move, So that's good, really good. You could have predicted this from $26 all the way up to $28. That's definitely a $2 move, which is really good. GME is at 122, kind of mimicking what AMC is doing. Let me go back to AMC over here. AMC is making some pretty good moves. We have about 5 minutes. Please hit that like button, get it above 800 likes. I would love that. AMC not popping the popcorn today. Yeah, you're right. They're still positive right now, but barely. They're positive for the day. They opened at 916, so either way they're positive. They're starting to decrease. Now they're break even from close to close. So you may see a little bit of a decrease, but don't get any sour grapes here. If we're going to look at, let's look at this. So if we look at AMC and we break it down for the last day, don't get upset because you see all of this movement that we did have. Yes, we did have a lot of volume towards the middle of the day, but that's what you're going to see. You see this W formation, and that's one indication that it's going to increase, and it actually went through, which is something that doesn't happen often. But here you're seeing that decrease, the increase, the decrease, maybe a nice solid increase here soon after we hit below $9 or so. I think that's definitely a great deal, great bet there. But if you can get in lower, find where that low point is. I don't know if I still had that deposit. I didn't have it deposited. I'm waiting on $4,000 to get deposited. I'm probably going to exit out of these positions later and have some buying power for the next couple of days. AMC is barely above water right now. Yeah, I mean, I like to see them move down. It gives everybody a buying opportunity, to tell you the truth, because I think this up here at $9.40 is kind of chasing the stock, but anything below $10 is still a good value in the long term. What's your expectation for GME today? Like I said, I still think they could possibly hit 150. It looks like the low is around 112. It may get a little lower than that, but it looks like it's around 112. So if I say that solidly the low is 115, then you can look at adding an average of $30 because the stock moves $30 in a day. So it could get to 145, 150 in the day. So that's what I'm looking at. It's as long as we see the influx in volume, we see an increase in volume towards the middle of the day, then yes, you're going to see it push up. But I think it's probably going to hover between these 2 points, you know, the 115 mark, 130 mark, and then hopefully have a high point during the day. You can tell those who don't understand the market, how the market works and its ebbs and flows of the movement by saying you should, like, AMC is sinking. Why is that? Oh, because certain people are saying that AMC is really dropping down or it's tanking or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it's literally just movement in the market. You understand that it's not going to stay at one price. It's not going to stay flat at one price. It's not like old days to where people only really got updates by the newspaper or something like that. And it basically looks like it's down however many points for that day, and that's where it is. But no, the market continues to grow, to move, and yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, it's funny when I talk to people about stocks and they're like, oh, it's at $2,000 today, and then I go and look at the position and it's like down to 1,900 or something, and then I'm like, well, you know, the stock market is going to move. You can see something like an Amazon that moves a substantial amount in the matter of minutes, or like a Tesla that moves a lot in the matter of minutes. So we're going to see ups and downs here. You see GME is now below 120. Hopefully we can see that stop somewhere around a certain point, maybe a couple of buy walls, which I don't really see. I don't really see too many of them. AMC, that's dropping. Hopefully we can get it below that $9 mark, but you are going to see an increase and a decrease here. Hopefully we can have that W formation to where we can indicate an increase, an influx in buyers. That would be amazing. But I think this is going to be a good day. So we'll see how the rest of the day goes. Hopefully I can stream a little bit later. I'm going to have to pick up the kids somewhere later. So yeah. I think it's going to be a good day. But that's my video, guys. If you want to hit that like button on the way out, please do so. Get it to 1,000 likes. That would be amazing. Also, hit that subscribe button if you're not subscribed already, and hit the notification bell so you're always notified when I post a video, even though some people say that they're not notified, which is crazy. Also, check out some of my links down below. I have a link for Webull if you want to sign up for this platform. You'll get free stocks if you sign up and deposit $100. Also, I have a store down there if you want to learn how to day trade. There's a great book down there where it's How to Day Trade for a Living by Andrew Aziz. He's definitely, and you can get an Audible copy of that as well. But that's my video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for subscribing, for liking. Hit that like button, get it above 800 likes, 1,000 likes. That would be amazing. But I'm going to go to work. I got to get out of here, and I'll catch you guys in the next video or stream. Make sure you check out some of my other videos that I posted. Don't, shy away from those. I'll see you guys.